So this is our video lecture on rolling loads and influence line. This is the introductory lecture on the rolling loads and influence line diagram for analysis of structure, and we will be dealing with the determinate structure, mainly simply supported beam, to develop the concept. In practice, what we find that structures are not just subjected to static loads. The live loads can change their positions also. So rolling loads are those loads which change their position over the given structure element from one end to the another. So we can easily visualize that a train crossing a bridge, or vehicles either two-wheel or four-wheel rolling on the girder or trench are the example of rolling loads. For a structure to be safe, the members are designed for the worst case or the critical case, that is proportioned such that capable of carrying the maximum force produced by various load combinations. So from structure engineer's point of view, determining the load position for the worst case or the critical case, that is the load position which causes the maximum response function in the form of forces and stress. We are trying to discuss the effect of rolling load. We are considering a simply supported beam. For an example's sake, we have taken it as a span of 12 meter. At one end is this one is suppose hinge and other one is roller. So we see that if a small bike goes, some reactions will be developed in RA and RB, whereas if a bigger vehicle passes, it will have higher reactions, and probably this will have even more reaction because it is a material wagon, so it will be having some more dead load on it. So what we do, we imagine these two imaginary forces as wheel load, and it is crossing the girder or a bridge. These two wheels will transfer the load of this whole vehicle along with the material in it. So it is going to be a huge load. So what we see is, suppose if we are considering only RA, what is the effect of reaction? When the load is here, there will be some different value, and when the load moves from one place to another, we find that the value of reaction keep on changing. So the effect of rolling load is that at a given cross section of a girder, the load may occupy such a position so as to cause maximum shear force or bending moment at that section. So such position is called critical position. So we discussed about reaction, but it is also true for shear force and bending moment. For a rolling load, we have to find the critical load position. So there are few types of idealized types of rolling load. So first one is point load. So generally there is no concentrated single point load. Whenever the span is very high and the distance between two load is very small as compared to the span of the, suppose this is 120 meter and this distance is say not even 1 meter also. So we'll assume that it is a point load. We idealize it. And suppose we have series of point loads. Suppose we have a series of point load, and we are knowing the load on each wheel, so we call it as several concentrated load. We should know the distance between these loads and load. There are two cases. One is longer than span. So in this figure we can say that if this is the span, so this UDL, we are assuming it to be a UDL, is greater than the span of the bridge under consideration, and the other one will be shorter than span. Suppose we don't know the loads on each wheel, so we assume this to be a UDL, and the span is say 20 meters and the UDL in this case is 5 meters. So this is the case of UDL shorter than span, this is the case of UDL greater than span. So we can assume this as two point load also, two concentrated point load. So this is more of an idealization of the load on a beam. This is a point load which is rolling. It is not static, and it is a simply supported beam, and it is having reaction RA and RB. So suppose the load is somewhere here, say at a distance x from the left support. So this distance will be L minus x, and we are interested to find the value of Ra. We are interested to find the value of Ra. So whenever we want to find the reaction, we use equations of equilibrium. So the best and the easiest way to calculate reaction in one go is to take moment about the other point. So if we are interested to find Ra, we should take moment about point B. So we can write the equation sigma moment about B is equal to 0. So what are the forces? Only two forces are there. One is this unit load and the other one is our unknown force Ra. So Ra into this distance is 12, and about this point this has tendency to rotate clockwise, and this unit load has the tendency to rotate anti-clockwise. So I have kept it on the either side of the equation. So 12 into Ra, the length is 12 into Ra is equal to 1 into what is this distance? L minus x. General equation for calculating Ra is equal to L minus x upon L. L minus x is the distance on the far side divided by total length. Now continuing with it, suppose the load is at this point. So what is the value of x? The value of x is 12. So L minus x will be 0. So what is the value of Ra? Ra is nothing but L minus x by L. So what will get? 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. So this is a point to remember, that whenever in a simply supported beam the load is at any support, all the reaction will be taken by that support only, and Rb will be 1 in this case and Ra will be 0. So we calculated value of Ra as 0. So in the second position, now suppose the load has come to this point. So from where we are measuring our x, we are measuring our x from support A. So this distance will be L minus x 2. So our Ra is equal to L minus x by L. So L minus x is 2, so it will be 2 by 12. So what we see, that when the load is changing its position, the value of Ra is also changing. So likewise, when we move to midpoint of the beam, L minus x will be 6 and L minus x by L will be 6 by 12, that is 0.5. Further moving, we find that load is now at point 2, which is at a distance, this distance is 2, but we are interested in finding L minus x. So our L minus x is 10, so Ra will be 10 by 12. So as I discussed, that whenever the load is exactly over the support, all the load will be taken up by that support only. So when this load was on B, value of Rb was equal to the load on the load. So now this unit load is at A, so Ra will be 1. L minus x for our case is 12. So when we solve it, L minus x by L is 12 by 12, that is 1. When a unit load change their position across the system means this beam only, the stress function could be reaction, shear force, bending moment, also change their value. Here we have demonstrated that reaction is changing, so likewise other stress function will also change. The load may occupy a position so that it causes maximum effect at that section. So based on this, we can find that what is the load position which gives the maximum effect for a given section or for a given stress function. Suppose we want to find shear, so for maximum shear, what should be the load position? And such position of load is called as critical position. Generally, as an structural engineer, we are not considering maximum or minimum. We are generally focusing on the critical positions. Sometimes minimum is critical, sometimes maximum is critical. So influence line diagram is a diagram which represents to some scale the variation of any stress function or in some books it is written as response functions of a member or a system when a unit load rolls across it. The stress functions could be, as I already said, it can be reaction, shear force, bending moment, axial forces in truss, thrust, etc. So ILD is very useful in case of rolling loads. It is useful for static load also, but especially in rolling loads it is very useful. The diagram at a glance indicates the critical load position for the corresponding stress function. This enables the designer to calculate the maximum moment or shear at a critical section. The value of stress function is equal to the ordinate of ILD to some scale corresponding to that load position. We will see this. The value of stress function is equal to the ordinate of ILD. So, if we are interested to find the value of RA, the ordinate of ILD will give the value of RA for the corresponding load positions. Influence line for statically determinate structure are always piecewise linear. So for a statically, this is an important objective question. For statically determinate structure, we will always get linear response. And influence line diagram are important for designing beam, trusses used in bridges, crane rails, conveyor belts, floor girders and other important structures. So the concept of rolling loads is somewhat clear to us, and we have already seen the definition of influence line diagram. Now based on this concept we try to draw ILD for reaction at B, RB. This is one of the easiest influence line diagram which is there in this. So influence line diagram is defined as a line diagram which represents to some scale the variation in stress function. So the stress function which we are using here is RB. We are trying to find the variation in RB of a system. This system we are using this simply supported beam when the unit load rolls across it. So RB is equal to X by L, X divided by L. Now we tabulate the values. Wheel position will keep at 0, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. So based on that we will calculate the value of RB. RB is nothing but X by L. So at X is equal to 0, value of RB will be 0. At load position at midpoint, that is at 6, the value of RB will be 0.5, and for load position 12, the value of RB will be 1. So the variation will be linear because the variation is X is having power 1, so the variation is going to be linear. So we will get this diagram. So for various load positions, suppose the load is here, the ordinate is 0, that means the value of RB for load position 0 is 0. So when load is here, the ordinate under that load will give you the value of RB. So this ordinate is now 0.5, the value will be RB is equal to 0.5. Then suppose the load is here, so this ordinate will give you the value of RB. By similar triangle we can find out, and if the load is at 0.12, the value of RB will be 1. So simple. Now we will try to get the value, draw ILD for RA. So what is the general expression for RA? As we have already seen in rolling load concept, RA is equal to L minus X by L. So this distance is L minus X. So we are measuring X from this side. So the far away distance is L minus X. So when we tabulate it, so it is better we start from the far side. So value of X there will be 12. So L minus X will be 0 because load is at this point. So L minus X will be 0. So value of RA will be 0. Similarly, when load is at 0.6, so L minus X will be 6 and L minus X by L will be 0.5. So we know that the variation is going to be linear. So when we draw this, plot this, we get a right triangle with the value of RA is 1 at 0.0 and value of RA is 0.5 at midpoint and value of RA at 0.12 will be 0. So we know that for the load position, the ordinate under the load will give you the value of that stress function. So this influence line diagram will give only the values of RA for various load positions. Moving ahead with the concept of rolling loads and how to draw influence line diagram for various stress components like reaction, and now we'll go to shear. Spend some time in the basic concepts of shear force. So first is, what is the definition of shear force? So basically shear force is defined as the summation of all vertical forces either left or right of any section. This is a tensile force in which the force is causing elongation in the member, and this is compressive force where it is trying to compress the member, whereas this is a shear in which one part is sliding over the other part, and this line is called the shearing plane. So one part is moving this side, another part is having tendency to slide away from each other. So in this case what is happening, it is a case of bolted connection. So this is a plate and this is another plate. It is subjected to some tensile force, say F, and this is connected by a bolt. So the plate is having tendency to slide away like this, and this plate is having tendency to slide away like this. So what actually happens is this thing: the one part of the bolt will slide on this side, the other part will slide on this side, and this is called the plane of shear. So for sign convention of shear, though we can use any convention, but generally we use this concept in which if the right portion of the member is moving up, we consider it to be a negative. So in short, students like to remember this run. So from this section, if the member on the right side, because of this force, is moving up, it will be taken as negative, and if right of the section, if member is sliding down because of the force, the force is said to be positive shear force. So it will always be in a pair. When the one part is moving up, the other part will move down. So this is a negative combination. This is negative combination of shear force, and when right portion is sliding down and the left portion will slide up, so this is a positive shear. So shear can be calculated from either side of the section. From both sides we'll get the same value. We generally prefer the side which is having less number of forces, so that shear force can be easily calculated. We have to draw a influence line diagram for shear force at any section C. So suppose this is our section C and we want to draw influence line diagram for shear force at section C. So for that we will consider this simply supported beam, and we have taken a section C which is at a distance Z from the left support. So this is our section. The observer is standing here. And now what about load? So we are considering is a rolling load, so it will be moving across the system. So suppose now it is on the left hand side of the section. So value of X is less than the value of Z. So in this case what the observer find, that on the left hand side there are two forces, whereas on the right hand side there is only one force. So what we do, shear force at the section will be calculated from right hand side because there is only one force. So better we calculate shear force from the right hand side. So what will be the value of shear force at C? When the load is left of the section, it will be RB. Now we have to think whether it is positive RB or negative RB. So we have already seen that using the concept run, that is right up negative. If because of the force the member has tendency to lift up, it will be taken as negative. So when load is to the left of the section, we will take shear force at C is equal to minus RB. Similarly, moving ahead, now what we do in the same section which is at a distance Z from the left support, this load has crossed this point C. Now this load is on the right hand side of the section, that is value of X is greater than value of Z. So when the load is right of the section, then the shear force will be calculated from the left hand side, because on the right hand side there are two forces and on the left hand side there is only one force, that is RA. So the shear force at C will be, when load is on the right of the section will be Ra. Why plus Ra? Because the section is on the left hand side is moving up because of this force Ra. So it is a positive shear force. Now we'll try to draw it. So we have seen that on the section, if the load is on the left of the section, the value of shear force at C is minus Rb. So for this portion, the value of shear force is minus Rb. But the moment load crosses this section and is greater than Z, then the shear force value is plus Ra. So for this portion it is positive, for this portion it is negative. We try to draw from first the left portion of the ILD. So we know that ILD for shear force at C is equal to minus Rb. So we know that the ILD of Rb is this, and what will be the ILD for minus Rb? Simply flip it on the other side. So for this portion the ILD will be equal to minus Rb. So what we do, we try to draw this. So from 0 to 0.8, when x is less than z, the ILD will be like of minus Rb, as we draw for minus Rb. And what about when x is greater than z, ILD will be equal to plus Ra. So this is the value, this is the ILD for Ra. So what we do, we try to draw ILD for Ra on this side. So which portion we should consider? We should consider only this part, from x is equal to 8 to 12. So cancel all the unnecessary portion. So the final ILD will be like this. So this is for x is less than z, and this is for x is greater than z. What is the ILD? It is minus Rb. So we have drawn it on the negative side. So what is the general equation for Rb? It is x by L. So at this point x is nothing but x is equal to z. So what we do, we put the value of x as minus z, and on this side the value of x will be z. So the final value will be L minus z by L. So just for practice, if I want to draw an ILD for shear force at any section C, what we need to do, we simply draw in a section, then we draw minus Rb till this section on the negative side, and this, and plus Rb on the, plus Ra on the remaining part. So this value will be 8 by 12 because this distance is 8. So this is x by L, and remaining is L minus x. So this is 4 by 12. So this is so simple, that ILD for shear force at C. Suppose the section is at this point, at z is equal to 3. So we draw a section, then on the left part we will draw Rb, on the right part we draw Ra. Ra is positive and Rb will be negative. So this is the value, x by L. So at this point, what is the value of x? It is 3. So this will be 3 by 12. It is drawn on the negative side, and for this part it will be L minus z. So total length is L, this part is z. So this will be L minus z, that is 9 divided by total length, that is 9 by 12. So very simply we can draw this ILD. Suppose I want to draw ILD at this point for this section. So it will be negative on this side and positive on this side. So this height will be 5 by 12, and remaining is 12 minus 5, 7. So this height will be 7 by 12. So before drawing the influence line diagram for bending moment, just a quick recap of the basics of bending moment. So bending moment is defined as is the summation of moment of all the forces are either left or right of any section. Suppose this is a member and we want to bend it. Suppose we want to bend it, so either we can bend it like this, or it can be bent like this. So as per sign convention, if the concave, the concave part is upward, it is called as positive bending moment. Or if it is bent like this such that concave is downward, so it is called a negative bending moment. But this resembles to the smiling shape, so this is called sagging moment, so we call it as positive bending moment. And this is a hogging shape, so sad face, so we call it as negative bending moment. So coming to ILD for bending moment at any section C. So what we do, we have considered a simply supported beam of span L at any point C at a distance Z from the left support. We have considered a section. So from left support the distance is Z, and from the right support it is L minus Z. So X is less than Z. What does this mean? It means that the load position is defined by the value of X, and section position of the section is defined by the value of Z. Here we mean that Z is greater than X. That means load is on the left hand side. So load is now on the left hand side. So at the section we see that on the left side of the section there are two forces, and on the right hand side there is one force. So it is better that we calculate bending moment from the right side of the section, because only one force is there. So what value will be? RB into L minus Z. So it will be positive. Why? Because of this reaction the beam will bend like this. So this is a sagging shape, so this will take it as positive. So value is plus RB into L minus Z. Position X is less than Z, we can say that bending moment at C is X by L into L minus Z. Now second case, when the load is on the right of the section, that means the load has crossed the section and it is on the right side of the section. So the bending moment should be calculated from the left hand side, because on the right side of the section there are two forces. So it is better that we calculate bending moment from the left side. So the bending moment will be RA into Z. This distance is Z, so RA into Z. So RA is equal to L minus X by L into Z. So why we have taken positive? Because of the sagging nature. Because of this force, the beam will have tendency to bend like this. So this is a smiling face, so we take it as positive. So we know that when the load is on the left hand side, that is X is less than Z, the bending moment is equal to RB into L minus Z. RB into L minus Z. So RB into L minus Z. In place of RB we will write that X by L. So at X is equal to 0, when we put X is equal to 0, we will get bending moment is equal to 0. So at this point bending moment value will be 0, and at this point we will put X is equal to Z. In place of X we will write Z. So it will be Z into L minus Z by L. X is greater than Z, that is load is on the right side of the section. Then the bending moment at C will be RA into Z. So what will be the value? RA, in place of RA we will write L minus X by L. So at X is equal to L means at this point, so L minus X will be 0. So bending moment at this point where X is equal to L is 0. At X is equal to Z, I mean at this point, so bending moment at C will be Z into L minus Z by L. So when we plot it, from this side this value is 0, on this side the value is 0. Here on the left hand side the variation will be linear, as we have already seen that for determinate structure this variation is always linear. And on the right hand side, when the value is X is greater than Z, the bending moment at this point is 0, and the bending moment value at this section will be Z into L minus Z. So it will be like this. So from both the side the value is same, Z into L minus Z upon L. This is the final influence line diagram for bending moment at any section C. So for practice, suppose we want to find bending moment at any section C here. So what we do, we draw a line. On the left hand side we'll draw, at support it will be 0, and the central ordinate will be multiplication of this z into L minus z divided by total length L. So suppose I want to draw ILD for bending moment at section C. C is at this point. So we'll draw a section, then we'll draw a hill or a hut at under this section. So what will be this ordinate? It will be product of z into L minus z by L. So here the section is 3, this length is 9 and total length is 12. So this height will be 3 into 9 by 12. So quickly to sum up what all we studied in influence line. So definition wise, influence line diagram is a diagram which represents various stress function like reaction at A or reaction at B, shear force at C or bending moment at C of a system when a unit load rolls across it. The diagram, just by a glance you can identify the critical load position for corresponding stress function, and the value of stress function is equal to the ordinate of ILD, ordinate of the ILD corresponding to the load position. And influence line diagram for statically determinate structure are always piecewise linear. So this is a simply supported beam. So and we are interested to find the ILD for RA. So it is going to be like this. At R end you make one ordinate, at B you make 0. So this is the ILD for RA. So what will be the ILD for RB? So it is going to be ordinate 1 will be at RB and at this point it will be 0. So suppose we want to draw ILD for shear force at this section. So it is going to be draw a straight line, negative, then positive, then like this. So this value will be, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it will be say 4 by 10. This will be 4 by 10 and this will be 6 by 10. This part will be negative, this part will be positive. What about bending moment? ILD for bending moment will be a hill. So what will be the ordinate? On this side the length is 4, on this side suppose the length is 6 divided by, suppose total length is 10, 6 into 4 by 10. So it will be 2.4.